Oye, me tuve el día del otro día por causa de tu amor cristiano, que fui a parar a enfermería sin yo tener seguro en cama, y me inyectaron suero de colores, y me sacaron la radiografía y me diagnosticaron mal de amores al ver mi corazón como latía. Oye, y me traquearon hasta el alma con rayos X y cirugía. Es que la ciencia no funciona, solo tu beso, vida mía. Ay, negra, mira, búscame un catéter, inyéctame tu amor como insulina y dame vitamina de cariño, que me ha subido la bilirrubina. Me sube la bilirrubina cuando te miro y no me miras, y no lo quita la aspirina. Es un amor que contamina. Me sube la bilirrubina cuando te miro y no me miras, y no lo quita la aspirina. Es un amor que contamina. ¡Opa! ¡Ahí nada más! ¡Sigue, sigue! ¡Epa! ¡Oh! ¡Ahí nada más! Sube la bilirrubina cuando te miro y no me miras, y no lo quita la aspirina. Es un amor que contamina. Me sube cuando te miro y no me miras, y no lo quita la aspirina. No, es un amor que contamina. ¡Pepa! Sigue. ¡Ahí nada más! ¡Pepa! ¡Oh! Ay, negra, mira, búscame un catéter, inyéctame tu amor como insulina. Vestido tengo el rostro de amarillo, que me ha subido la bilirrubina. Me sube la bilirrubina cuando te miro y no me miras, y no lo quita la aspirina. Es un amor que contamina. Me sube la bilirrubina cuando te miro y no me miras, y no lo quita la aspirina. Es un amor que contamina. ¡Ay! The Brooklyn Cafe Show. A gozar. Ahí nada más.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Happy Friday, everyone. Wow, that was amazing.
That was. Starting the day with a little Latin flavor there, huh?
Ready to go into Friday?
Yeah.
Friday weekend vibes, as Freddie used
Love
to say. Viernes social.
Viernes social.
Viernes social. I'm going to get that Spanish right. But as you see, Freddie has turned way more beautiful. Today we've got Janet Orozco-Feller joining us. She is the host of Impulso Latino, and we are just flowing with the vibe that you all set this morning. What a morning in the studio is all I can tell you.
Oh my God, I haven't stopped dancing. It's amazing. I love it.
The dancing's been incredible. We have not been on air for a few days because we've been redoing the theater and redoing Studio B. So more pictures and video are coming. The crew has been amazing. And I have to thank you all because all the great donations and fundraiser that we did last month, I can't believe it was only a month ago, December 13th. It's only January 17th, has enabled us to take some of the money from the AMP Media Futures Foundation and repurpose and redo Studio B. So you'll get, it's a whole new set, a whole new vibe, new opportunities to bring your show and your podcast ideas to light. And I have to thank our crew. They came, they said, we have an idea. And they executed it, ran the wires. They came in, they painted on the weekend. G-Man was here with Brianna painting, Danny and Schneider filling holes and painting and doing everything they do. And we finally finished it. Yesterday, the last picture went up, so you can check us out on social media, see everything. And now it's back to business.
Yeah, I can't wait to see a show from it. That's so amazing.
Back to business.
Back to business.
And before we even get going, we have to say a huge happy birthday to Frank A. Ruffolo, the author of all of our amazing books. So Frank is joining us, and our very own G-Man. They share a birthday.
G-Man.
Can you believe that? So G-Man and Frank share a birthday. I don't know what that means about the two of you, the similarities, because yeah, it's like a brother from another mother, because how that works, but they got you. So we're going to be celebrating a little bit today as well, and we're going to get into our guests. But before that, how are you enjoying doing Impulso?
Oh my God, I'm loving doing Impulso. We've had amazing guests. As a matter of fact, you stole one of our guests, or we stole one of our guests today to appear here.
Well, you know, they worked so hard setting up.
Yeah, no, they do an amazing job. They're such great, talented musicians. So our show has been growing. It's been so much fun to watch it evolve and develop. Our guests are getting better and better every week.
Better and better. Now,
right?
you met Eduardo someplace, right?
I met him networking. Eduardo is part of one of my networking groups. Yeah.
And then so you interviewed Eduardo maybe a couple weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of shows ago, maybe 2-3 shows ago.
And then you were able to expand, and the music to liven up a Friday. It's funny because every Friday you do your show, and there's always music coming from the dance studio next door.
Yes.
And I think they may have even turned theirs down to listen to yours
today.
Oh,
you think so?
Because
you know, you're right. It wasn't as loud as normal.
Because why not dance to live music? It's got to be way better than what they. So maybe they were dancing to your music. I'm not quite sure.
That would be pretty cool.
So, all right, I'm going to let you do the introductions.
Yeah, so today we're very excited to have with us Eduardo Macadar from EMAC Music and also Humberto Ibarra. Humberto's a singer, he's a percussionist, he's a songwriter, and they're both amazing. Well, you saw the energy that they bring to a song. Old classic, Me sube la bilirrubina. I was over here, you know, dancing around.
So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Jenna, for hosting with me and sharing the music and sharing the excitement for going into the weekend. What a way to celebrate your birthday, I know, right? You had no idea.
It was a big party.
Eduardo, tell us how the music, you've got music groups, and how you and Humberto work together.
Well, number one, thank you so much for having us here at the Brooklyn Cafe Show together with Humberto Ibarra Productions and EMAC Music today. We are really honored to be here. EMAC Music Productions, it's been in Boca Raton for the last 25 years, providing music entertainment to many of the local venues. And today, as I mentioned before, it's a pleasure to be playing music. We started La Bilirrubina together with Humberto Ibarra here today.
The music is incredible. So, Humberto, you did mostly percussion and singing? Because you have a lot of percussion, Eduardo was telling us.
Yeah.
Well, my first musical universe was playing percussion, but before 5-6 years I started to singing, so I do both.
And
I
you
love it.
Write your own music as well?
Sorry?
Do you write your own music?
You write your own music, you compose your own
yes,
music.
yes, I write my music. Yes, I'm the composer. the 80% of the music that I do and the composing.
And where do you
Amazing.
perform? Incredible.
Amazing.
Well, I perform tonight. I'm going to perform in Doral. It's a carnival event from the Colombian culture. So we are gonna play a lot of cumbia, Afro-Colombian, African Colombian rhythms. Wow. So tomorrow I'm gonna play in Doral.
Back to your roots, because you're Colombian,
Yes,
from
so
Barranquilla,
I
right?
have many events so about Colombian culture in this January, February, March.
And mostly in Doral. And what
Yes,
did
in
you all
Doral.
talk about today?
Doral.
So we talked about basically how he started. Do you know that Humberto's a lawyer?
All right, so tell us how you
He's
started.
an attorney.
Well, I started when I had 19 years old in Colombia.
That's when he started his music, studying
Yes,
music.
I started to learn to play percussion, African Colombian instrument. I played with a lot of band in my city, Barranquilla. I'm from Barranquilla, Colombia. So when I feel that I play with a lot of band and music, I say no, I have to try to find another ways, another cities, and I want another thing for my musical career.
Yeah,
So
but you were telling me you started out as a lawyer. You studied
Yes,
to be a lawyer.
yes, I am a lawyer.
You're a lawyer.
Yeah, in my country.
in your
I'm a lawyer.
country, and you totally switched gears. You fell in love with music.
Yes.
You developed the bug to.
Yeah, but when I start to learn about music, I feel that's what I want to do.
The passion.
Yes, that's what I feel in my heart. So when I
Amazing.
finish my career like a lawyer, I say to my father and mother, hey, I study, I like the career, but I want to be musician. That's what I feel in my heart. So in my house, everybody say, what?
Yeah, I'm sure that went over well, right?
You are a lawyer, now you want to play music in a club, party, something like that. No. So that was in my family, that was a small war with my father
I
and
bet.
my mother, but at the end they have to accept, because it's what I feel that I wanna be.
And how do they feel
musician.
now about it? Your
So
family?
so my father, when like 15, 20 years later, when I played with the greatest Oscar de Leon, the greatest salsa singer,
Salsero,
my
that's the
father
best.
say, "Oh, that's my song.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my song.
Really proud.
That's my
son.
song." So how you see, papi? That's what I wanna be.
I love it.
When you make it, they love it. Now tell me about the African Colombian percussionist, because I've never heard those two cultures combined.
Well, this drum, the name of this drum is tambor alegre. In English, it could be happy drums, yeah, or tambor mayor, the big drum. With this drum, we play a lot of rhythm from the Atlantic coast in Colombia. So we play cumbia, we play bullerengue, chandé, chalupa. All this rhythm is a mix from Africa, Indian culture, and the lyrics and the dance and costume from Spain.
Wow.
So in Colombia we have that all three different roots: African, Indian, and European.
That's amazing.
So we play something like this, like a cumbia.
That's so
incredible.
Thank you.
love
Thank
it.
you.
Because I'm not from Colombia. You're from Colombia, Bianca, right?
No, I have family in Argentina.
Argentina.
I am, though.
You're from Colombia. I've never seen all of these cultures together and in an instrument that they acknowledge all of the three different cultures. It's not like
Well,
they just took it. They're acknowledging the three different ones.
The African culture and the African rhythms are very much a part of Latin music,
Yes.
of all the Latin music.
It's amazing.
And I mean, and the respect is definitely given to the African culture. Those drum beats are infectious.
Oh yes. All the.
At least I can't stop moving when he does that.
You should see everyone dancing here.
In Argentina, play and the people like a lot of cumbia. A lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
interesting because it's not exactly the same as the Colombian cumbia. Each country and each
It's a little different.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's the most beautiful because in Argentina, they develop the cumbia as his own culture, his own feeling, and that's beautiful
Yeah.
because
Everybody has their flavor.
exactly in Mexico it's the same, in Central America it's the same, in Peru it's the same. So they have cumbia at his own style. So that the cumbia originally is from Colombia, but in other countries develop different. But it's good. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful how it all comes together. You know, everyone is so divisive in dividing cultures and religions now. To be able to bring it all back together through food and culture
Exactly.
a
and,
beautiful thing.
and traditions, that's what it's all about. It's bringing people together. And I love that they acknowledge bringing the cultures together, that we can share cross cultures in music and enjoy and celebrate. So I thank you so much for sharing your gift with us.
No,
We should have in mind that we have a huge Latin community in Florida, and the idea is to bring this Latin music to all the cities all over Florida, because Latin people are all over, and they love to have in their own cities, Wellington, Lake Ida, Delray Beach, Boynton Beach, this type of tradition where they can come to the shows and be present with their inherited
But you know
music.
what? Even non-Latin people love this music.
Not only Latin,
Yeah.
but everybody can be a part of it, and
Yeah.
we can share it with others.
Because it's fun.
And that's basically
doesn't wanna
our goal,
dance and
to
be
be able to
happy?
bring his band and all
true.
the other events that we provide through EMAC Music and Events
Exactly.
to all the different cities. That's
Eh,
the goal of being here today.
Are you performing together this weekend?
Not
He's
this
going to be,
week.
I'm not going to be a part of his group tonight.
Okay. And you have a different groups that you work with.
Well, I have about 70 people working for EMAC Music and Events
Wow.
because we provide a big array of different music entertainment, including casinos, mariachis, dance shows, Brazilian shows, top 40s bands, single musicians. There are so many different people that work with us for the last 20 years that I will not take the time to share it with you right now, but we've been around for many years, and it's a pleasure to have Humberto Ibarra's band with us, trying to provide music all over Florida.
I love it. How did you two meet and get together?
Well, I think that we did one little gig together, and that's when our relationship started. And he told me, by the way, you know that I sing. And I realized, working with Humberto, I am very familiar with the Latin tradition, and I always tell that he is a resurrection and reincarnation of the voice of Gilberto Santa Rosa, Willie
boy.
Chirino, Oscar de Leon. This guy is unbelievable. And for me, it's a pleasure and an honor to play with him on stage at every time. And people recognize that. Not only that, his energy on stage is very unique. And as an artist, besides being an amazing percussion player, I would say one of the top players in South Florida and maybe in the United States, his presence on stage is so strong that you will be able to witness yourself when you see his band live. You can just sit still. These guys kill it. And that's, for me, it's an honor to work with them, and EMAC Music and Events is so happy to promote them.
Well, when we see you working together, the music and everything together becomes infectious, because you didn't have one producer setting up today. You must have had, I don't know, 8 of them. And they're resetting. I've never seen the camera angles in the studio reset so many times between camera and sound and different mixes and the mixer board. And you had everyone all over the place. And at the end of the day, they actually sat and they listened and danced. And that's what being in production and the business is all about, because you are the utmost professionalism. You wanted your sound, your vocals, and anyone who's watching, it's not like you turn on a button, they take out their equipment and they play. It's a setup.
No, it is a
Right?
setup.
They've been here for hours. So, I mean, they've been here since before 10 o'clock this morning setting up to bring this music out to everyone and through Impulso. So thank you all so much for joining us.
Yeah, we're so grateful to have you here. And
Tell us
Excited
again.
to see you guys on February 1st.
Yeah, and then tell us some of the gigs you guys are going to be at. You're going to be this weekend down at Doral. Where?
Well, I don't remember exactly the address,
Well, tonight I can send you the info. It's in Doral. The title of the event is in Spanish. It's Noche de Cumbia y Tambor. Noche de Cumbia y Tambor. So the ladies come with his costume to dance. The people bring instruments, and it's gonna be very, very beautiful.
It's the beginning of the Colombian Carnival.
Yes.
Okay.
So today is going to be a big opening in this big open event.
So it's the opening
anybody
event.
can come and see.
Yes.
And we will provide the address later on so you can share it with your audience.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
And next week you're going to be at the Doral Key. I think that I saw you there 2 weeks ago. And that's a fantastic place with restaurants,
Yes.
food trucks. The stage is amazing. The sound system is fantastic. And we're going to send you a short video of that event as well so you can put it in your program and share it with your audience.
Wonderful.
I love it.
Terrific.
I want to go.
I was going to say, I can't believe you're not going already.
I can't go tonight because I found out about it too late. But
Yeah.
I want to go to the
You're
other.
all welcome. You're all welcome.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, so before we go to commercial break, will you take us out with another song?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
here's
If
some
you
more
guys
music.
ready,
Yeah, we're
give
gonna
us
We
one
are
second
ready.
and
out
we'll
the
be
commercial
ready.
break and get some more music going on. But I think it would be a great idea for you to head down there.
Yeah, I definitely want to head down there. I know that Eduardo and both Eduardo and Humberto have more artists that want to come and share their music with us. So that's amazing. So I'm excited about that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're enjoying doing Impulso because this was not anything you had ever done before.
Never, ever, ever. I'm a businesswoman. I help businesses with business credit. This is like the opposite of this.
And I feel like we threw you right in, but
did.
you're so beautiful. You've got such straight stage presence, and I don't understand what you say in Spanish, but it sounds beautiful, and it looks amazing. And they tell me, I like that word, or I like what she's saying. So I know from the production end of it,
Well,
it's incredible.
I'm having a blast. I love doing it. I love exposing new businesses, new artists to the public. I mean, it's amazing. And to give our Latino community that voice and the ability to share what they do and to share their passions and to help others rise up and live their dreams. It's a remarkable opportunity for me. So thank you for giving it to me.
It's our pleasure. You have an incredible co-host. You've got Lucky
do.
Adigere as your co-host, and she's spectacular.
She is. She's awesome.
And if you don't know Lucky, you're going to know Lucky's laugh, because Lucky's laugh, again, is infectious.
Totally
She's not
infectious.
here today, and Freddie's not here, so you and I get to
Yeah,
kind
it's
of hold
just
the
you
fort
and me,
down on
girl.
both shows. You and me and a room, a studio full of incredible producers.
I love it.
But it's great, and I thank you for sharing all of this music with us and our audience for the Midday Show.
Awesome. Are we
All right.
ready to go,
You guys ready to take it away?
We should be ready.
All right, let's
some
do
more
it.
music. And we'll do-
Hit it.
¡Ay! Esta canción es para todas las mujeres que están aquí presentes, las dueñas del swing. ¡Ay, nada más! Todo el mundo. Everybody stand up. Let's go to dance. ¡Woo! ¡Ay, nada más! ¡Sabroso! A mí me gusta ver con la sabrosura con que esa morena mueve la cintura. ¡Vamos! ¡Ay! A mí me gusta ver su delicadeza, la mano en la cintura y otra en la cabeza. Oye, qué rico. Gózalo, Yané. Vamos. Cuando llega al baile, se arma la función. Ella en el escenario siempre se roba el show. Baila con su estilo como un figurín. Por eso es que yo digo que esa nena tiene swing. ¡Hueva! ¡Oh! A mí me gusta ver con la sabrosura con que esa muñeca mueve la cintura. ¡Ay, qué rico! Cuando llegue al baile se arma la función. Ella en el escenario siempre se roba el show. Baila con su estilo como un figurín. Por eso es que yo digo que esa nena tiene swing. Y tiene, y baila, y goza con mucho. Y tiene, y baila, y goza con mucho. ¡Ay! Todo el mundo a mover las caderas, la cinturita. Cadera, cintura, cadera, cintura, cadera, 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 cadera. ¡Ja, ja, ja, ja! In the Brooklyn Café Show. Sabroso. Y tiene, y baila, y goza con mucho. Y tiene, y baila, y goza con mucho. Todo el mundo, todos los que están aquí presentes, a mover las caderas. Todo el mundo, con las manitos para arriba y a mover las caderas. Eso viene. La cadera, la cadera, la cadera, la cadera, la cadera, la cadera, la cadera. ¡Epa! Eso es. Ahora vamos to the right and to the left. Right and left. To the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. Swing, swing, swing. ¡Ja! ¡Beba! Una bulla a las mujeres. Sabroso. Vamos. Viene, vuelve y juega, viene. Y tienen, y bailan, y gozan swing, con mucho swing. Y tienen swing, y bailan swing, y gozan swing, con mucho. Todo el mundo a mover las caderitas, la cinturita, los sombritos, todo, todo. La derecha, a la izquierda, la derecha, a la izquierda, to the right, to the left. Moviendo las caderas, todo el mundo. Vamos, Argentina, a mover las caderas. Cuba, Colombia, todo el mundo. ¡Epa! Swing, swing, swing. Oye, qué rico. ¡Ay, nada más! ¡Pepa! ¡Pepa! Brincando, 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 brincando. Te lo dice Humberto y Eduardo. Swing, swing, swing.
You're listening to the Midday Brooklyn Cafe Show with Dawn and Freddie S. Every weekday from 12 to 2, tune in for the ultimate midday escape. The perfect blend of entertainment, culture, and community, all served up with a side of Brooklyn flair. It's the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
Amp Media Productions is proud to announce a collaboration with ABC WPBF, producing high-quality commercials for clients in Palm Beach County. This partnership will leverage Amp Media's creative expertise and video production capabilities with ABC's extensive reach and community connections to deliver top-notch advertising solutions. Contact Amp Media Productions today to amplify your impact in business on ABC WPBF.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, your family, your business, your peace of mind, you need reliable fire protection. Introducing All Fire Extinguisher Depot, Fire Extinguisher Service. Our certified technicians ensure your extinguishers are always ready to respond to emergencies. Before and after, we leave your fire safety in top-notch condition. Join the many satisfied clients who trust All Fire Extinguisher Depot for fire extinguisher service. Because when it comes to fire safety, there's no compromise. Contact All Fire Extinguisher Depot at 786-704-2750 to get your extinguisher service today. Your safety is our priority. That's at 786-704-2750. All Fire Extinguisher Depot, protecting what matters.
Breaking news, aliens have finally made contact with. Welcome to the Amp Media Studios here in beautiful downtown Boca Raton.
In conjunction with True Oldies Radio South Florida, Amp Media Productions is here to help amplify your impact in business and to bring greater awareness to our community. Give us a call, 866-224-5422. We'll see you soon at the cafe.
And like I always say, come on down and visit us and don't be late.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Are you turning 65 this year or retiring and leaving employer coverage? It's your time to navigate the Medicare enrollment process. You have guaranteed issue in this time period. There is no medical underwriting. Everyone has unique needs within the standard steps of the enrollment process. The Marvelisms Medicare can walk you through the best options for your needs. For more information, call Claire Goyette at 561-703-7463 or absolutebestins.com/Claire-Goyette.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Wow, that was fun.
So during commercial break, you missed it. We're on like the Jewish Latin celebration. We're on carbs and champagne with music. So somehow we put all these cultures together. We had to give a huge toast to Frank and G-Man for his birthday and to our crew. A huge congratulations. I'm sure there's some bottles left of something in the fridge from the event because our crew has worked so hard. Every day they work so hard to bring all of our shows to you. But on top of the shows, they've been repurposing Studio B. And with repurposing Studio B, meant repurposing the theater. So everything has shifted and moved. The piano's been moved, the green screens have been moved. There's a new studio, and they've done every single bit of the moving and the painting and placing furniture and running wires. Wild and wires.
Wild too. Wild too.
So a huge thank you to our crew for everything
Yes, for
that
sure.
you have done and you continue to do, and you
Thank you to the
support
crew.
us every step of the way, and you are supporting me incredibly today. Freddie's not here, so he's on a highway somewhere
Well,
out
we're
to
having
vacation,
fun without him,
but
so-
we're having a good time. And the fun continues. You can find Humberto this weekend down in Doral. You can also, there is an American Fine Wine competition happening in Miami Beach on Sunday from 6:30 until 9 o'clock. Tickets, we can put the flyer up for you, but all proceeds go back to benefit the FIU School of Hospitality and for children in need. And what's so amazing about this, there are going to be over 700 wines that you can taste. 13 restaurants, huge silent auction items. They've got one that is at a winery out in Sonoma, and I think it's a $12,000 value for up to 6 people.
Wow.
And they've got a pull cork opportunity. So $60, you get to get a cork. And your cork has a number on it, and that number corresponds to another bottle of wine within the foundation that you get because you picked that one. So,
Oh, wow.
And all the money goes back to foundations and people in need. It goes back to benefit students at FIU for their tuition and School of Hospitality. And it's just an incredible opportunity to get involved. So we can pop that up for you.
That sounds like a fun event.
And it happens to be on your birthday, Frank. It's on G-Man's birthday. They've got restaurants like Flair for Fudge, Fogo de Chao, Island Fusion, Jerk Machine, Royal India, and 13 winemakers that are going to be there on site. So you get to meet with the winemakers, you get to taste the wines. Everything's included for your one ticket. I believe it's $95 for the ticket, and it all goes back to a fantastic cause. So I'm going to be there probably around 8 o'clock. It's from 6:30 to 9. So I got plans, but I still have to pop. I mean, how do you pass
How do
that
you
up?
pass
That's all I
that
could
up?
say.
Yeah.
700 wines. You can't possibly take them all or taste them all. So take an Uber or get a DD or go down
Send
and
me
have
that
some
flyer.
fun.
I need to buy a couple.
We're going to send the flyer, right? It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So American Fine Wine Competition, 18th annual, and we're going to be working with them as well. I think they're going to be doing a wine tasting here to benefit our foundation as well as theirs. So, you know, when you come together for a greater cause and a greater good, it's all fun. It's all about the wine.
Yeah.
So it's that Sunday, so a lot of good stuff happening.
Cool.
And speaking of Sunday, we have to go over to see our good friend Frank A. Raffola, who is with us. It's Frank's birthday, and I'm so glad he's here to celebrate with us because we haven't seen him in a while. He was out last week from the Artist Loft. He'll be in next week. But his books definitely bring up a lot of conversation in our studio.
Yeah, a lot of conversation.
You know, we had a gentleman in yesterday. He was on Denise Marsh's show, Frank Ireland. And on his way out, I don't even know how he saw them. Sometimes I think people just come in here with a calling, and it's like the voice says, look at the books, look at the books. Because it's not even like I had the table out. He pulled the first one out. He pulled the COVID murders out. And he was so intrigued. He said, I need to meet the author. I wrote a song that I think he's going to like.
Oh, my goodness.
Good, I need to meet him.
So,
I invited him to the show this Thursday. He hasn't answered me yet.
So I don't know what his day job is. So we put him on you put a text together, and everyone wants to know what the next book is. I feel like, Frank, I need a whole listing of what goes with what series, because he pulled Samael of Sarah, and I said, well, that's the last one. Do they need to read them in sequence, or are they standalone?
You get the complete story if you read them in sequence, but they're all standalone. I mean, they reference each one in the book. So
That's what I was thinking, because this is the first one, which is so funny because Samael of Sarah is a little dark.
it's a lot dark.
And this one is not very dark.
No.
So that's why when I tell people it's a series, this one I loved. I have not gotten to Samael of Sarah yet because I'm not into the darkness of faith. I'd rather stay in the light of faith.
It's sort of the dark leads to the light.
Always,
Okay.
right?
So are they faith-based books, Frank?
Yeah, that series, faith-based. It takes you from the months leading up to Judgment Day to 1,300 years later.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
And man's lack of faith and God's unconditional love until he can't stand it anymore.
Oh. Okay, I can see the dark.
But, you know, you hope that the light always wins. You hope
Yeah.
that, right, always goodness and faith prevails.
Right.
Shall shake your head? I know we're
I'm
going to get to
shaking my
your
head,
story.
yes.
We're going to get to your story also. But that's what's so important, especially now I hear that I'm hoping the news hasn't changed since I left this morning, that Israel and Hamas has come to some sort of agreement of ceasefire and releases.
They've come to a tentative agreement. Hamas hasn't agreed to it yet.
Yeah, there are some issues still. So it may still fall apart. But we're as close as we've been, so that's encouraging.
Right.
I mean,
You look at so much devastation and so many lives lost, women, children, and then those people that have crossfire to each other for war is war. And then I look at you, Frank, and all the books you write and what God brings down in Judgment Day, and faith wins and hopefully the light prevails. Do you see this as like you are this messenger
Well,
to bring
it's all
this
coming
forward?
true, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and that too.
yeah,
Yeah, so I'm basically a messenger.
very prophetic.
What do you see the similarities between your books and truly what's happening? Where do you think we're going to end up? I know that's a big question.
Well, we'll always end up to the positive. You're going to go through bad stuff, and then there's going to be positive. The world is not going to end, but it's going to change. And a lot of information is going to come out before the end of this month.
Information on faith, on
Whoa, 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 whoa. We have input from the other side of the room.
E.T. phone home
So you think more disclosures coming out by the end of this month?
by the end of the month.
And Sally, I know you think more
I
disclosures
do,
coming out by the end of this
definitely.
month.
Sally's
Well,
over there
I wasn't sure
jumping.
the end of the month. I thought within the next 6 or 7 weeks, but that's great. Frank said
They were
so.
supposed to come out by the beginning of this month, but it's been a little delayed. It should be out before the end of the month.
Okay.
Just what I wanted to hear. That's great.
Well, I think they came and found you. I know.
Wow.
But I was
What?
listening to a podcast this morning talking about the difference between prayer and manifestation.
Okay.
What do you think? Difference between prayer and
Prayer and
manifestation?
Well, I think prayer and meditation, you mean?
Manifestation.
Well, they said manifestation, but you can say meditation. It can go either
so
way.
prayer, to me, prayer and manifestation are very different. I mean, prayer is the way you interact and communicate with your God, and I guess prayer is part of manifestation, right? But prayer can be used a lot of different ways: to give thanks, to ask forgiveness, to wrestle with something in your life, and manifestation. I think it's a small part of it. Would you agree?
Prayer, if you're genuine, and may take a while, will produce manifestation.
It was an interesting concept, because my first thought was what you said. They must have been, how does that happen? But the more you think about it, when you're thinking about something, you're in prayer. You may not be asking your divine creator for that, but in whatever essence is, you're putting your attention to it in goodness.
Ask and you receive.
Right.
Sure.
Simple.
So it's interesting. And then we look out in our lobby with the Blessed Mother, and
that moves.
She's 550 pounds, and she shifts. I don't know how she does it, but
that is crazy. Well, there is tremendous energy in this place, and it's very positive, good energy. I've always gotten, from the moment I first walked in through the door, I saw that positivity, and so
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And a lot of great things happen from here. There's, people put their part, but it expands, right? We're all better than when we came in, I feel.
And I've never seen a team, a group of producers and interns and students and graduates come together for a greater cause, and that's to bring everyone's ideas and voices forward. It is so not about them. It's just about honing their skills and bringing it forward in the best way possible. And I am so proud of each and every one of them.
And they're remarkably talented.
I know.
They really are.
Incredible, from website design and everything else. But I guess that's part of prayer within this studio and the manifestation of what comes to be.
Well, you produced this amazing event in December. You thought, you had told me, I'd be lucky if 15 people come.
I thought
you did say that to me.
Right, yeah.
And how many people were here, Dawn?
We probably had 200 people here.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And you were able to raise a lot of money.
Raised a lot of money, which was amazing.
Yeah. But I think that a lot of things happened here that day, too. A lot of relationships were forged. A lot of positive things came from that day as well. So,
yeah, and I think the energy of all the angels that I honestly think, Frank, that they expanded the walls. Because if you look at this studio, there is no way we fit 200 people in here.
But we did.
But we did.
And we weren't uncomfortable.
And nobody was uncomfortable.
No one was uncomfortable.
Nobody was uncomfortable.
And no one called the next day and said they got sick, like with that many people packed. Like nothing.
Right.
It was such a blessing of this studio, and it was Christmas season, and we even had a band in here, and no one felt crowded.
Nope.
It was amazing, yeah.
Which is incredible. So what do you think is going to happen? We've got a new administration coming in on Monday. We've got Martin Luther King Day on Monday. We've got this, hopefully, end of war and hostages releasing on Monday.
On Sunday.
We've got Sally's show on Monday, of course. But what do you see happening in the greater of all, of mankind, the world?
I think a lot of things are going to be exposed that were not exposed before.
Yeah. Well, that's been the pattern, huh? Things are starting to come to light.
Everything's going to start coming out of what was being held secret.
It's about time, right, Frank?
It's about time.
Do you think you think humans can handle what's coming?
No.
Maybe they'll come in on my show. Monday.
The humans or?
No,
the humans?
Not the humans.
The message.
Oh, the message is going to come, okay.
No,
maybe a couple of humans.
The things that were seen in the sky over New Jersey, and nothing cared. Nobody cared. Really.
They talked about it and then they moved on, I guess.
Thank goodness, if it happened over Alabama, they'd probably all been shot down, but nobody cared.
Frank, but they're really trying right now.
Nobody cared in New Jersey.
If it happens on Monday, let's see what happens, right? Imagine all of us coming back out on Monday.
I'll get a nice audience.
Oh boy!
So I guess we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to slowly come out.
And do you think that it brings forth a new era? Should we be hopeful about this?
I think it's going to bring forth a new, like the old song, The Age of Aquarius?
So it's a new age, the dawning of a
It's
new
going
age.
to bring forth a new
beginning.
era of understanding.
Okay.
I mean, if you paid attention to what was going on, really paid attention to what was going on, you should be expecting this by now.
Absolutely.
A lot of people haven't been paying attention. I mean, to give you a perfect example, they're showing all these unidentified craft buzzing around at fantastic speeds in the sky, and we don't know what's going on. The SR-71 plane that they were using for reconnaissance was listed with a top speed in excess of 2,300 miles an hour. It was actually faster than that, but they listed it as in excess of 2,300 miles an hour, which is, that's fast. There's no plane today that does 2,300 miles an hour. That plane was designed in the 50s and flew in the 60s. That's 60 years ago. What have they designed
since then
in the 90s or 2010s that are flying today? I saw an interview about 10 years ago, and Sally probably can confirm this, where they interviewed the ex-president of Lockheed, who was in charge of Skunk Works, the Lockheed Skunk Works, where they build all this fancy stuff that nobody knows about, the black projects, that all the money that Pentagon uses and it's gone, they don't know where it goes over there. And they asked him about UFOs and how those flying around. And does the United States have that stuff? And he looked at him and said, I can't tell you because it's top secret what the United States has. But I can tell you we have the technology to build it. That was 10, 15 years ago.
Frank, do you find...
So where they got the technology, just guess.
Which I had said earlier, a lot of people now that are high up in wherever the places they are, they're coming out because there's a lot of whistleblowers that are getting older and they want to disclose the information, whereas when they were younger, working in whatever capacity they were working,
so that's all going to come out.
Secret.
That's all going to come out by the end of the month.
So they have less to lose now.
And people are more ready today, much more ready.
You know, what's so interesting is you're so spiritual, psychic, medium,
but this is my
telepathy connected. Frank is so scientific, data-based, spiritual. So you're both saying the same thing, but coming from two different.
Place, right?
Yeah. So it's not people who go, oh, this is woo-woo, or people who are scientific and say, look at what's in the sky.
Right.
You're actually melding, you're coming to the same
all
place.
Paths lead to the same place.
That's what I'm
from
saying.
Two different
they
perspectives,
join
which is pretty
together.
interesting, right?
It's how you get there. We may go differently on the path, but ultimately the destination is exactly the same. Just different ways of getting
There's
there.
more than one scientist that has said most of the UFOs that are spotted in the sky were built here.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because I was just saying to Frank, I mean, it wasn't more than a few weeks ago that every day you turn the television or anything on, you'd see all these, quote, drones up in the air. And they say, oh, yeah, they're people flying the drones and this and that. However, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, have you seen a drone? Nobody's talking about it. However, if it was drones, they all suddenly got together, everybody, and said, don't fly any of them anymore?
Right, no one listens anyway.
It really doesn't make sense, but because people are, I'm not going to correct, it's not right to say closed-minded, but if you begin to open your mind and you say, well, that doesn't make sense. I mean, we laugh at that, right?
It's interesting. Jay, what do you think?
Actually, what I think, well, actually from a Christian point of view, I have been hearing things and they say that it's definitely going to be changing things. We're getting closer to something now. and a lot more. They said if you look at it, it's really kind of the sign of the times, and it's saying that things are really going to be happening, and it's not in the distant future.
And if you read Frank's books, when you read Frank's books, and you get only to the second one, to the Tres Archangelis, and you see the journey that they take and what is revealed. And we wrote that book when?
Early 2000s.
So you're looking at 25 years ago, 20-something years ago. And I read your books and I think, and here we are in disclosure, but yet you wrote them so long ago. And it makes so much sense.
Well, there's trillions of galaxies
Right.
in the universe. Trillions. So there's multiple trillions of planets. If you think we're the only life,
It's true.
It doesn't
Think
make
again.
It doesn't
They're in
make
for a
any
big
sense.
surprise, right?
It doesn't make any sense to think that.
It is interesting. You know, I was putting all your books on the shelf yesterday, and Sally, I got your book out there, and I'm counting, I'm thinking, the amount of books that you have written, some of them similar, your series, but yet some of them are so different. But the faith-based books are just about staying in faith, believing in good over evil, right? Light over dark.
yeah, somewhere around 250,000 words in the faith-based book.
Well, what is so strange is I already had the one book there, and you have many, which are great. And you talk, because you're predicting, which I actually haven't read as many books of yours as I'd like to. And here's my book where I'm saying I'm traveling to planets, which
Exactly.
I describe the planets. It's kind of strange that we're both in the studio and it's the same theme, basically. Well, yours is different. You have, much more, but
But you're definitely agreeing, and you're definitely seeing the same patterns in your own different
Crazy.
disciplines. So that
I think
speaks
everybody
volumes.
is pretty much coming together in their agreement with that something big is going to be happening soon.
Yeah.
And I don't care who it is. I think that everybody is pretty much in alignment with that idea that whatever is happening. I mean, it's even biblical that this is a time of that there's going to be big changes.
So you're talking Revelation biblical? Wow.
We're getting to that point, yes.
Interesting. So every facet is agreeing, I guess.
Imagine if a spaceship lands in a parking lot.
well, they did come to Miami, but nobody took any notice.
Yeah, I was right, they did.
Yep, they sure did. They just
What was that,
said
about a year and a half ago? About 2 years ago.
everybody
Wasn't it
was
2 years?
imagining it, Frank.
What was
right?
that?
It
When
wasn't
the
even
aliens
that
were in
long
Miami?
ago.
Aliens were
I
in
never heard of
Bayfront
this.
Park.
Yeah.
Are you what?
Big green aliens, right?
What I heard, Frank, is that as they left, people did take pictures of them. There were people at the door asking for their phone to erase it. I heard
So
that
so there
a
were
little while
big
ago.
green aliens.
I think it was 2 years ago, New Year's Day.
Yeah.
at an event.
Bayfront
Very
Park.
small
Bayfront Park. They
at
shut the whole Bayfront Park down.
Yep.
And videos came out where they were like 10, 12 feet high, running around.
And
Bayfront
everybody
Park.
from the police force everywhere arrived there within
Wow.
10 minutes. But it was just nothing.
How did I not hear? Well, I wasn't
Were you
in
here?
No, I wasn't in Florida.
No, they
then. I was
didn't
in New
talk
York.
about it. They just said it was nothing.
So it didn't come to New York.
The whole Dade County Police Force was at
That's
Bayfront
right.
Park.
And this doesn't make international news that
but
there are
it's
big
nothing.
green.
And then they said, oh, it was nothing. It was some kids
Nothing.
throwing off doing
Yeah,
firecrackers.
that's-
Why would they dispatch 40 police cars?
Exactly.
yeah, for a
and
few
why would
kids.
they want to see your phone as you left? Because they wanted to see what pictures were taken. That's what I heard. I mean, I don't know quite how true that was, but someone
Wow.
told me that.
It's really interesting to see what happens.
Truly.
And it's all going to happen here. You're going to hear it. You're going to read
They're
it.
going to come here?
So what should we do to prepare?
Yes, they're coming here, Sally. Sally, I think you've summoned
Dawn,
them.
you just said it is going to happen.
They're going to land here in the parking
Yeah.
lot. And
Right in the
anyone who's
parking-
listening, they're going to go, she's nuts.
Can we make sure Freddie's here that day?
You mean I'm going to be driving up to do Impulso Latino and I'm going to have to like say excuse me to an
Excuse
alien?
me, you got to move around
But
the alien
I
space.
just feel that whatever is going to happen, we're all going to have a front row seat for it. You know, we're not going to miss it. You know, it's going to be made very available for everybody.
Because they're not going to be able to stop. They won't be able to stop and, it's crazy. They just
So
don't want you
40
to know.
police
but
cars won't
as
do
you
it.
said,
You know, it's interesting because in Frank's books, there's always the battle. And at the end of the battle is where the goodness comes out. Do you think there's going to be a battle of wills, a battle of energies?
Well, there's a
something?
battle now.
Yeah.
Do you think
there's
it's
a
going
battle
to get
now.
worse when they actually disclose, or do you think we're going to be more accepting?
It's a good question.
Mm.
You would think it would bring us together.
Amen. You would think something would.
Initially, a lot of people are going to be very scared, and it's going to take all their belief system away from them. So they're going to be like going crazy. This can't be happening. But it takes. I don't know if you agree with me, Frank, but it will take time, and it'll be like all the other planets. They know about everything. Well, not every one of the planets, but many of them do.
It's interesting. Interesting.
Wow, big things coming up next.
You have another book you're in editing, I heard.
Yeah, it's another Jack Stenhouse book called Golden Skull. That's
There's a
coming out.
lot. I don't know how
have
it
to
all
finally-
comes out of your mind. It's just incredible, the amount of things you write about. And then you got to start reading his books, Janet.
I do. I've never read one of his books, and now this is the first. This is the first one I.
That's
need
the
to get.
first of the faith-based.
Gabriel's Chalice.
Yeah.
And then is this the whole series of that or no?
Gabriel's Chalice, Tres Archangelis, Xantha Terra, and Samael of Sarah.
Okay, and then there's non-faith.
It starts on Earth and ends on Earth, but in between you're on Mars.
Oh, okay.
I mean, even down to the drilling on the moon. I mean, the
Even
things
down
that
to
you...
drilling on the moon.
That's just incredible.
Even down to terraforming Mars, which I said will be happening with nuclear weapons, and Elon Musk just came out
I
and
was
said
just going to
that's how he's
say,
going to do it.
I'm wondering if Elon has read them.
That could be.
But he's convinced he's going to do it.
It's a lot of things that are happen right here in our little homegrown studio in Boca Raton that actually make you take pause and say, you know what, anything is possible, but faith is so important.
For sure. For sure.
They may very well end up here because Boca Raton, every time I seem to turn a movie on, they mention Boca Raton.
It's a great retirement capital of the world. All right, we're going to take a break. More to come. Frank, happy birthday. Thank you so much for sharing your insight with us always. More to come with Sally and Frank, and I guess Shima went out and bought another. I guess we got to celebrate some more. All right, it's 1 o'clock hour. More to come. You can follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at the Brooklyn Cafe TV, as well as Amp Media Productions and Impulso Latino. Like and follow all of the shows that we bring out to you from the studio, and we can create yours as well. More to come, and we'll be right back. Amp Media Futures Foundation is a non-for-profit organization dedicated to providing college students with immersive opportunities in media production, marketing, business skills, and communication.
Interns will learn professional workflow skills in editing, video and radio broadcasting, public relations, digital media, graphic curriculum, and access to equipment to make a positive impact.
Amp Media Productions is a full-service production house with a variety of shows ranging from the Brooklyn Cafe show.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a very busy Wednesday.
Sarah
Open your
Spiritual.
heart. Right here on the Oldies Station, you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
Call me Zena.
By example, and that's what I try to do all the time, to teach by example.
Artist Loft.
Using that term more. Yeah, lofties, yeah.
And Gypsy Soul.
They love music. It's like their favorite thing to go to.
I teach like preschool up to 12th grade.
Yeah, nice.
You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Amp Media Productions. Please like and subscribe to all of our shows.
I want to be a first class champagne, please.
Dying comfort.
That's good. We offer opportunities to excel in the field of TV film production, social media management, video editing, set design, graphic design, sound engineering, journalism, and many more useful tools to help you land a career in the media business.
To volunteer or be a part of our team, or to make a donation of any size, please visit us at ampfutures.org. Help us to empower college students to create a positive impact with immersive hands-on experiences in media production. Help us amplify the future.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
Pizza Rica, tasty Richard Pizza at 2001 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard or contact 561-826-8663.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
Your True Oldies Listener's Guide. Listening in the Palm Beaches? That's 95.9 FM. On the Treasure Coast? You want 106.9 FM. In Boca? It's 95.3 FM. We've got Fort Lauderdale and Broward County covered with 96.9 FM. And you can always hear us anywhere at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
And we are back. Great conversations to be had.
Yeah.
And I love that Brianna got to wrap up with Eduardo on all of that.
Yeah, big things happening.
So the power of networking, I want to talk to you about that because we don't get often to talk to you about what you do in a woman in business, females in business, or just business in general. What are you finding the importance of? We tried to go to an event. G-Man saw you in the car, but then we never saw you.
You know,
the importance of networking.
So the importance of networking is huge. I've heard it say that your network is your net worth. And it's true because as one person, there's very little you can accomplish. You may be able to accomplish a lot as one person, but when you add other people with different skills and talents and perspectives, it multiplies what you can possibly do. And of course you need clients and you need a public and you need all kinds of people to make a business work or to make any enterprise work, right? So networking is huge. You and I met through networking.
Right.
You and I met through networking, and it was at that same event, at the Boca Luna Lounge, Networking Beast. And I've met some great people there, but you have to put yourself out there. You have to make the effort to meet people and to be open to different ideas. A lot of people don't like to go to networking events because they say all my competitors are there. I see different. I think that maybe my future collaborators are there if they're open to it. And my clients are there. And I've found that being open to whatever comes and whatever the universe or God sends you at any given moment really works.
Saying yes. Like G-Man's a big yes person. He can drive from here to Palm Beach, back to Miami, back to my Palm Beach, and if you ask him to say, can you pick me up, and you're in Wellington, he'll be, yeah, I'll slide, I'll pull up.
Be there.
He says yes to everything, which is amazing, and yet he opens himself up to so many, and Danny's laughing. Because have you ever heard him say no?
He yelled at me for saying that yesterday.
That he always says yes?
Oh.
I know, he's got like the biggest heart. He always says yes, at his own detriment sometimes.
He'd rather you say it like that. I got a big heart.
He has a huge heart. I mean, everyone in this studio is unbelievable
for
on
sure.
what they do.
For
But I was reading that one of the big banking firms just told all of their employees they need to return back to work.
Yes.
5 hours a day.
I think that was
5 days a week, full time. So it's been 5 years since COVID. That's amazing, right? We're going on 5 years and people still aren't working. But part of what that culture is networking, right?
Sure.
If we didn't go networking or our crew didn't come here, there'd be no creative feel. That studio would have never been redone. The shift of energy would have never happened because you're not in collaboration and sync with each other. And I think that's so important in business also.
Definitely. It's important to share ideas. If you're not sharing ideas, you're not creating anything, right? Ideas expand when you share them and you bring other people in. It just becomes that much more powerful. And you never know who knows who, right?
It's true.
So you meet a person and that might lead to 10 other people who you never thought in your whole life that you would meet. But there they are because you met this one person. So you really have to take the opportunities that are available.
You get to meet people. And we love to network here in the studio.
Yeah.
And we have a new show that's starting called The Connector. And that's with Ariel Levitt. And she's amazing. And her platform is just to network people. She asked for nothing in return, except she wanted a bigger platform to network people.
Wow, that's amazing.
So her show's going to be today at 3:30. She normally airs on Tuesday, but because she needed to connect these other people, they could only make it today. And actually, Jay, you interviewed her when Sally was away, and I think we're going to do a release of that episode today.
Yes.
Well, you and Sally will do an intro, and we're going to release that show. But what did she talk about, the importance of business and networking?
Well, she was saying how really important it is to be networking, no matter what your business is, and to talk to people about what they're doing, so they can everybody work together. It's pretty much just everybody finding a niche.
It's an interesting field because she had an event yesterday, a networking event, and sometimes you go, people they throw themselves out, and everyone's trying to talk over everybody else because you want to get in the last word. In her event, you knew you were there only to network, so there was no other agenda, which was, when you go in feeling one way and you're like, wait, I don't have to feel that way, you don't have to be guarded, and you catch yourself feeling guarded for no reason.
It's refreshing to feel like,
because she put people together just to put people together, and there's actually an event next Friday as a luncheon down at Ford's Garage in Plantation, another networking event, and they're a networking group down in Davie, and they're going to be here in the studio on Thursday. And they're all about networking and raising money for foundations.
Oh, nice.
So I can send you that link as
I'd
well.
love
If
that.
anyone wants to join us, it's a luncheon next Friday down in Plantation at Plantation Walk. I think it's $32 a ticket. But all that money goes towards your lunch, and then portions of it go back to whatever foundation they've chosen for the month to raise funds for. And this, I think, is for special needs kids. They have a passion for kids with special needs.
Nice.
And she brought them here last week, and they met, and she's like, here, meet, join, do, network. Which is incredible.
I love it.
When people, it's all about helping other people. And you're finding that when you interviewed her.
Yeah, I find that she's very good at what she does, and talking to people, she's so very. You feel very comfortable talking to her because she, I don't know, she just likes to. Talk about what it is, whatever it is that you do. She becomes aware of that, and she will discuss it with you, and and give you some pointers on it, and everything. And she's very knowledgeable about different types of businesses and everything, and it's really good.
I'd love to meet her.
I don't know what time she's coming, but I'm going to introduce you because at a young age, right out of college, she ended up taking over her father's chiropractic office at the age of 22.
Oh, wow.
And revamping it and taking it over and bringing it to fruition and growing it.
That's challenging at 22.
She said she out of college ended up graduating through her online courses and taking this incredible practice and growing it. It's down in Deerfield. But you think about, and I'm going to ask you all, do you think everyone has a calling? Because I feel like her calling is and she's very spiritual and she has vision, was so specific that she knew in her heart she could do this. If I thought at 22 I got married and had children, but I don't think I could have run a business. Go figure that. We can get married and have children, but you can't run a business. Do you think everyone has a calling?
Yep.
They all have a calling. It depends on when that calling comes to fruition.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
I mean-
revealed at different times,
I mean,
right?
even in the Bible, it says that everyone has a spiritual gift, and for everyone to be aware of that and to use that, and to use that to help other people.
That's interesting.
I didn't start writing till in my late 50s, so.
Which is so interesting
And I
because you and
started
Sally were
also-
both in business. You had careers and jobs and all the things you did, and
Totally different until I was 60. Then I changed completely.
and you were in and you didn't start writing till later also.
Yeah, in my 50s.
How did you first start writing? How did you find that calling?
Wow. Okay, I was, me and my wife were volunteers at a Marian apparition site in Hollywood. That's where the statue came from.
Yes, okay.
And I was told I had two archangels on my shoulder. Archangel Uriel, which is the wisdom of God, and Archangel Gabriel, which is the messenger. And right after that, I woke up one morning and I told my wife, I said, I got a great idea for a movie.
So it just
I
came
never thought
to
of
you.
writing before. And I
That's
started writing it
incredible.
in a notebook, one of the lined notebooks you get in school. I started writing it. I had like 5 or 6 pages written. I said, maybe I should put this on my computer. So I started writing that story, which ended up being my second book.
Wow.
Every morning, I would get up, and we have a Bible on display in our dining room. So every morning I would get up before I went to work. I was a purchasing manager for an electronics company. I would just reach down in the Bible and open up the Bible and just read whatever I saw that morning, and that was my inspiration for the day. So one morning I opened up and read, and it was Luke 21:11. Luke 21:11 is when Jesus tells his disciples what's going to happen before he returns again. They didn't know what he was talking about. And Luke 21:11 basically says there's going to be plagues and earthquakes in various places, terrors in the sky, and great signs. Happening today, guys.
Wow.
You just gave me
So,
the goosebumps.
I went, oh, thank you. I went to work. 3 days in a row, opened up to the same passage.
Wow.
And that's Gabriel's chalice.
So it was hitting you in the head, really.
Yeah. And then the voices in my head haven't stopped since then. That's like 2006.
So it just comes to you.
Just there.
And it sounds like if you don't do anything with it, it keps coming
It
to
just
you
keeps
until
coming.
you do it.
Yeah, it's interesting too that they have found that things happen in cycles, throughout history, and from the beginning of time with Adam and Eve and everything there until the first time that the earth was destroyed was at Noah's Ark, when the earth was flooded and destroyed. And that was about 2,400 years after Adam and Eve. Okay, 2,400 years later, that's when Jesus came. And then he came, with and explained a lot of things to people the best that they could understand. Now, flash ahead to 2,400 years later, and here we are. So, what does that mean? It means something.
Means the
Yes, they're
aliens are going to explain to
Oh,
us.
boy.
Right? Everybody's laughing, Frank, but I don't
No.
see you laughing. You agree?
Here we are.
Frank makes me feel a little nervous with his facial expression.
It's not to be nervous.
No.
Nothing bad's going to happen.
Right.
The only people that need to be nervous are the people that are not, well, let's just say the evil ones need to be nervous.
So get good with God, everybody.
I like that. Truth.
Everything's going to change. The earth's
For the
going to
better.
change for the better.
Absolutely.
Everybody think, oh, when the judgment day comes, the world's going to come to an end. No. Certain things will come to an end. But the world isn't going to come to an end.
Well, certain things
The
should
world will
come
be
to
here,
an
but
end.
The world will be here.
It's the people that is.
Goodness prevail. Sal, you think everyone has a calling? You didn't know yours until you were, what, 60?
I didn't know my calling until, but they also, not me on the head too to wake up, because I had some amazing things that happened right in the very beginning. And you know, you begin to take notice of a lot of things. I think things had happened to me prior to that, but I wasn't as open-minded as I suddenly became. And I was in my probably late 50s.
How about you, Jay?
With me, I had a lot of changes, and that I had never started doing the artwork that I find is my gift. I'd never really started doing that like that until I was well into my 60s, and you know, it was something that, you know, for people, if you haven't discovered your gift yet, you have it. You just have to maybe wait until the time is right. And you know, but everyone has some sort of spiritual gift that they can use, and it's always something that is used to help other people.
You have yours?
I don't know.
Well, you do. You just maybe don't know what it is.
Yeah, I guess I do. I just don't really know what it is. How about you?
The amazing thing is a lot of children are coming in today with memory, and they show their gifts. And I brought this up before, because if you go into, you know, the shows like America's Got Talent and all these shows, these little kids are singing songs that are, it's like they know life.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, they sing with life experience in their voice.
It's incredible, the little kids.
So that's not accidental. I think it was planned for this point in time, which...
That's interesting.
Yeah, so they can help.
I can remember one day going to work. I was heading south on 80, I don't know if it was 595 at the time. I think it was 595 at the time. Heading toward work, south. It was I worked at an electronics company off 84 in downtown Fort Lauderdale. I was heading south on 595, had exit, and it was a beautiful sunrise. And I was just captivated by the sunrise, and I was staring at the sunrise as I was driving, not paying attention to the road. And all of a sudden, my car just jerked to the left. And I looked down, and I was off the road. When the car jerked to the left, put me back on the road.
Wow.
And then I said, oop, there's my guardian.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes we don't know, and then sometimes it takes someone to put the pieces together like a puzzle, and you think, oh, this happened, like you saw all the pieces in your life, you didn't have it all fit in, and then you just missing that one puzzle piece, and then suddenly
it fits
you find
together,
your calling,
right?
and you realize.
I think it happens periodically through our lives. It's just that when we're ready, and we'll suddenly say, this can't be coincidence, there may be more to this.
There are no
attracted
coincidences.
to whatever it may be, not me personally, but anybody. And then you begin to see, and then I always call it following your passion. And when you follow your passion, you feel, and you just know you're doing the right thing. And then it
I had a
just
dream
falls
when I
into
was
place.
around 10 or 12 years old. I still remember. I had dreamt I had died.
Wow.
In my dream. And Jesus came to me and said, this is not your time yet. And I woke up.
Wow.
Interesting.
So we all get these, we all get this information all during our life. We just have to pay attention to when we get it.
Have you had something this dramatic happen to you?
Without it, but without taking
I think I'm more aware now of what it is. Like I always knew I could do, I used to call it magic, fairy magic, like Tinkerbell, because I didn't realize there was no other human way to put it until I started putting the pieces together and realized what I can do. And then the wand came to be, and then someone said, oh, you know, if you jumble your name Dawn, it spells wand. And I thought, oh my gosh, therein lies part of what I'm able to do. And this is just the physical side of what it is. But the most recent example, I think, is I had a neighbor, when we moved to our house, I had a dream, we were moving, that I was going to move to a yellow house that looked like it was 2 stories, but it wasn't. This was 3 years ago. So I woke up, I told my husband the dream. I was like, okay, whatever, we're looking for a new house. And looking, and we pull up to this one house, and he says,
There's your yellow
that's
house.
the house you dreamed about. And we pulled up, you know, like in front of the swell, and I looked in front of me, and there was a statue of the Virgin Mary.
Oh, wow.
And I knew at that point that was going to be our house. And everyone, that was the time during COVID where everyone was overbidding everybody else. And you had like 24 hours to get your bid in. And he's like, why are you so sure that you know we're going to get this house? I said, because the Virgin Mary is there, and this was my dream. So fast forward 3 years, every time I walk the neighborhood, I think to myself, I need to meet the woman who lives in this house because I know she blesses the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Never met her. So a couple weeks ago, I found out she was in the hospital. She was out of rehab, and I went and I knocked on her door and found out she's an amazing woman. She's 93 years old, and her life story, and someone who's helping her, the woman's name is Teresa, and we started talking, and I thanked her for the Virgin Mary blessing the neighborhood and her whole house. She's got pictures and everything there. So we start talking. I invite her to the studio to see our Virgin Mary, and I tell her the story of Frank and how she came to be, and his first book that I think is in the lobby. Not your first one, but Frank's...
My memoir.
His memoir. And the aide says to me, I've been to that apparition center. She said, I never had any faith, and I thought it just didn't make any sense, and my mother had passed, and I needed to connect to my mother, and I went to this apparition center, and I asked the Virgin Mary to send me a message from my mother. She said, and she looked up, and she saw her mother.
Oh, wow.
And that was Frank, and that was our Virgin Mary, and that was the woman whose house blessed. So I thought, this was like, what, 3 weeks ago?
I have chills. I'm getting chills.
3
from
weeks
this story.
ago. So I said to Frank, will you please sign this book? And I brought them back over to them, and I gave them each a copy of the book. So things like that I realize is part of my calling of what I do. And it's always like, follow your gut. If something tells you to go do it, like I knew I needed to knock on the door, and I knew I wanted to do it before I didn't have that opportunity to do it. And now I feel like I need to go over and talk to her again. And that is the coincidence of what is kind of crazy. And anyone else I would tell the story to would think like, oh, that's nothing. But in my mind, that's a huge something.
Yeah, I think it's a something.
Because you follow through. So we all get these
Right.
messages. We just don't always follow
Yeah, it's
them.
what we do with them is
Exactly,
You know,
yes,
I mean,
exactly.
we can get the messages, but if we don't follow through,
But eventually, I believe they keep coming back.
They
saying-
do.
And
They
then
do
you
if we-
eventually
if- as
say,
long
"I've
as- if-
had that happen so many times. Let's go and see what it's all about.
And you realize acts of kindness don't have to be huge.
No.
Right.
It can be as simple as a book or a knock on a door to say, are you okay? And I
Even
think
a
that's
hello
what people...
to someone. And
I think that's what people, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It doesn't have to cost anything. Just a knock and say hello or a phone call.
It could change somebody's life.
It changes someone's life. And she
Yeah.
had said to me, her daughter had just passed away the week before, and the funeral was 2 days later.
Oh, my goodness.
And I thought, you know what? I'm so glad I was able to at least bring some kindness and some hope to her, because it's a sad situation.
Yeah.
So if you have it in your heart to do something good for another person, I guess that's my message of Friday. Just go out and do it.
It's a great message.
Just go out and do it.
Yeah.
All right, should we wrap up today's show? G-Man. Yeah. Happy birthday. I don't know where he is.
Happy birthday, Frank and Gina.
Happy birthday, G-Man. Frank, have a wonderful birthday. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for sharing your gifts and all of your knowledge with us always.
Thank you for having me here.
And for blessing us. Our love to Chris. Enjoy your day. Jay and Sally, your show is today at 2:30.
2:30.
Yes.
Inside the Artist's Mind. We're going to see a sneak peek into the mind of Ariel Levitt.
Ariel Levitt.
And you guys haven't been together for a show in a little bit.
last
You did last week.
Last week.
So we'll see what's going on in your week. Sally's going to fill us in Monday on
I'd like
Call
to
Me
meet
Zena.
Ariel.
I don't know what time she's coming, but I will definitely, if you want to wait, if not, I'll introduce you guys
yeah.
for sure.
Oh, she's fascinating.
Oh, you know what? You're going to meet her on Thursday if you hang around. She's going to be on radio Thursday night at 7:30. I don't know if you'll be here, but we'll introduce you.
Whatever.
Things to happen. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for
you.
joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Any
It's a lot of fun.
closing thoughts for the show?
I like your closing thought. I'd like to leave off on that. If you have the opportunity to do something kind, it's a good idea to go do it. It makes you feel good, and it could change someone's life.
All right, to our crew, thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. I know yesterday I was like a walking zombie. They told me I had my shoes off and I was sitting on every couch that I could find. Facts, true. It had been a long 2 weeks and she's laughing. And you have all been so amazing. And I know
it looks beautiful.
I know it's been stressful, but I can't thank you enough for all that you do. And Freddie, I know in his craziness, he thanks you as well. G-Man, happy birthday. Have a wonderful birthday. If anyone wants to join me Sunday, we'll put the information out, put the flyer out, and have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, be kind to each other, and we'll see you Monday, 9 a.m. drive time. Thank you,
Bye.
Janet.
Thank you.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.